With that being said, man, this is Kenny Thomas here. You're chilling with Kenny C. Super excited to be joined with my first guest of this show. He's been on the show before. Um, Mostly known for metalcore type music. Definitely brings the metal tunes on Music Mondays. I mean, you seen his name, all the Music Monday rock tunes that I've done last year. You seen this person's name on here. Uh, Joining me back for the second time, Skunk Surfeit is here. He's joining me at via Zoom, but he's having some camera issues, so we're just doing the audio route. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you a bunch for all the times you've played one of my songs. Like it's meant a lot.
I appreciate you, man, and I have to thank you. For those that may or may not know, the flyer for the 15-year anniversary show last year, which was inspired by the legendary parquet sign. If you lived in Lexington, Kentucky, or you visit there, go to New Circle Road, you see that sign. It's legendary. It's been there forever. And just last year, Parquet closed its doors. However, that legendary sign is still up. So if you go to New Circle Road, it's there. Um, it's part of Lexington history. It's legendary. It's been there for a long time. So that was the inspiration behind that flyer for 15-year anniversary. Just a way to pay homage to one of the most iconic signs in Lexington, Kentucky. And you made that sign and you made that flyer, and I thank you for putting that flyer together. That's easily one of the best flyers I've gotten, if not the best, as far as anniversary flyers, hands down. So thank you, man.
I appreciate that a bunch, man. Like thank you a bunch for that.
Yeah,
Um it it was definitely an honor making that because I think we were all blindsided by that news. So
yeah,
it was also just a way I could also help pay tribute to a
absolutely.
pretty iconic piece of Lexington history.
True, absolutely true, man. So I'm glad to have you here. Getting caught up with you. So as you mentioned, as I pointed out, you've been featured on the Music Monday shows for most of 2022. You did a collaboration project with Fuzznet World. Um, from my understanding, that particular project is no longer on the platforms. So I was
Yeah.
able to play it through Bandcamp. So as soon as I found it on Bandcamp, I was like, okay, this will work. Um, so just before we look ahead to what you have in store this year, how did you feel about the music that you put out in 2022?
The two songs that I actually were able to put out last year, I really love them. I'm very proud of how they turned out. They were songs that I wrote 10 years ago with my friend Benny Frank, as he's known locally. He does a lot more of a trap metal style, but me and him used to write metal songs together way back when. And I had the idea of bringing those songs back to life, and he helped play lead guitar on both tracks. And he actually wrote the lyrics to one of the tracks, and it and I think it ended up being some of the best songs that I've put out there. And I'm really glad to collaborate with an old friend on it too.
So, with the collaborations you've been able to do with him, am I sensing more music with you two in the future? Could we have a full length project between the two? Um, where do y'all go from here with these songs?
I know me and him, I actually constantly link up with him and he uses my vocal booth to record vocals a lot, so I help him with that and mixing and mastering the vocals. So in a way I'm collaborating with him in a more production level, but in terms of like Skunk Surfeit with Benny Frank or vice versa, it's just more so if any ideas come up in the air. But
Gotcha.
right now, there's not like a solid plan yet.
Okay, so for the time being, check out the tracks. Skin, Waste Stuff. That's the first one, and Bury Me is the latest that came out um, this past November, just before Thanksgiving, I believe. So check out those tracks, Skunk Surfeit and Benny Frank. Both songs are available on the platforms. So pretty much all the Skunk Surfeit songs, with the exception of the first network project, are available on all the platforms. You will have to go to Bandcamp and stream the first network project. So, but it's
Yes,
there.
it
It's
is there. It's just unfortunately, once that company went down, all the streaming that company put out for all the artists that was on there
yeah,
got taken down as well.
yeah,
I think there's a way to restore it, but I kind of want to go through and remaster some of the old tracks anyways. I
yeah.
wasn't entirely happy with the album Noisem.
Yeah, I played every single song on Music Monday last year. And what I was trying to do with that is just play a variety of rock tunes, get some alternative, get some punk rock in there, and if possible, get some metal in there. And you and another metal act, and Stone Toker, fit that void. So I was able to play all sorts of rock music last year. The Music Monday was a lot of fun to do. It's because of the many friends that I've made, like yourself. I'm not sure if we may have crossed paths, but I don't think we ever speak because we have so many mutual friends. Guys like Ivy
Oh yeah.
Y, Dizzy Wallace, Contact, Raw Trey Clay. Just shout out to all the talented local artists in Lexington and surrounding areas. So yeah, man, I just been listening. I think I've heard every single song that you have put out up to this point, man. Definitely added, um, metal sound to it, instrumentals and just vocals. Um, you are an incredible artist, man. Like people look at me like, you really listen to metal? I'm like, yeah, man, I do. I walks with it. I'll be head banging. Every now and then. I walk to it. So just seeing. So we're all seeing some versatility as far as different genres from local scene. So, uh, but so props to you, man. Uh, so as far as 2023. Not
Yeah.
only you do music, but you also do graphic design as well. Um,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I want to talk on the graphic design side, man. What got you into doing design? How did that came about?
It mostly came about in part of it I in part blame the furry fandom just because of the nature of how art is with that fandom. And also going to blame high school for that. I took a class in my senior year for graphic design, and at that point, I was already messing with Adobe Photoshop Elements. thanks to the furry fandom. And with the graphic design class, I ended up learning a lot more about it and actually falling in love with a lot of the processes in it. Um, it was one of two classes I had 100% A in my entire course of high school. The other class was photography. Um, and both of which I pursued further after high school. Just there was a lot of I found my artistic outlet besides music with those.
So furry fandom and school, quite the combination.
Yeah.
Quite
It's a controversial combination these days.
yeah, controversial. But hey, it's just a reminder, boys and girls, school is still a thing. Get your education, you know, get that diploma, GED or whatever, and you at least get somewhere. So stay in school, boys and girls. Stay in school.
Definitely graduate, y'all.
Yeah, graduate.
Definitely graduate.
Yeah. Please, please graduate. You know,
And pay attention for for the love of everything. Just pay attention.
yeah. Teachers, they just have a way of getting that through your head, even when you don't want to pay attention. It's you know, man, I yeah, stay in
I've
school.
had some wonderful teachers in my life.
I've had some decent teachers. I don't think I was a trouble child per se, but I may, I don't know, just teachers. It takes time to gel with them. For
Absolutely.
from my experience, just trying to understand where they come from, because it feels like with teachers, um, they they more than just they do more than what's asked of them. So just they just try to get the best out of you and want to see you succeed in whatever it is you do. It's just a matter of the student just putting in the work at the end of the day. Uh, so that's just what it boils down to.
Yeah,
So
that's usually my experience.
yeah, so very very true. Um, on the so man, you do an outstanding job with the graphics, man. Um, I'm a great reference. So if you want some graphic design work done, get in touch with this man. Where can people get in contact with you as far as doing graphic work?
Skunkdesigner.com. Um, or even just skunkdesigner@gmail.com if you want to email me. But I I'm easy to contact through email especially, and I can pretty much work on sorry, I wasn't expecting the graphic design stuff, so my mind's trying to go through the folders for that.
Yeah.
Um, but essentially flyers, album art, if you're having like an album release party, um, I can do any of those.
All right, man. Skunkdesigner at gmail.com. Get in contact with him, and he'll hook you up. You'll be a very satisfied customer, I promise. Um, so back on the music side. Um, so when can we expect some new music from you this year? Are you going the singles route? Are you working on another full length project? What do you have on the horizon as far as the music side of things?
So far what I have planned right now is I have an EP that I'm planning. It's at least going to be an EP. It could grow into a full length. That's just how these things go. Um, but it's going to have a concept around it, around the theme of freedom, essentially. such as like say freeing yourself from some toxicity or freeing yourself in self-expression, just different types of themes of liberation. And
Definitely, yeah,
essentially, like I got a good amount of influences going on this thing too. Like I've been listening to a lot of like Thursday, Ken Mode,
yeah,
Deftones, uh, Citizen, definitely Nine Inch Nails, of course.
yeah.
Um, and each one's helping me kind of piece together a more like heavier, more guitar driven EP. It's still going to be like industrial sounding, but
Gotcha.
it's going to be a lot more heavier, and I'm going to be using a lot more of the screaming vocals that I utilized with the past two singles.
Gotcha. So be on the lookout. New music on the way for Skunk Surfeit. It's coming, and once it does, you know it's gonna be on Music Monday shows. So that's a sure thing. So
Which I hope everyone likes it because some of the stuff I'm working on now, it's definitely coming along really well.
hey man, I'm truly excited about this new music you have on the horizon. I want to thank you, man, for your support. Thank you for the music, just being the soundtrack to Music Monday on the rock side, the metal side of things, and you are you are a true gem to this local music scene, on the scene and behind the scenes, man. With your music, with your graphic design, you're doing great things, man, and I'm excited for what you have in store next. So thank you, man, for your time. Thank you for your work. Thank you for everything. Um, you can check him out on under Skunk Surfeit, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Skunk Surfeit. That's Surfeit.
Yeah.
So go. He's on all the platforms, social media, and all the music platforms. So thank you, man, for your time.
Thank you, and thank you for all the support you've given me and to pretty much every musician that you've put on like you've given a spot to. Like you're doing a lot for the music scene, and I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man. I'm very excited for the new music you got on the way. So everybody stay tuned for that. Um, Continued success, man. And you know, if I need another graphic design on a special occasion, I got you, man.